Hello, welcome to the Caddy multiplayer tutorial. In this tutorial we'll go through the features of the multiplayer support which has been added in Caddy version 3. So we'll start by creating a new scorecard, and that brings us up a new scorecard screen. We can specify the date, which course we want to choose, and the new feature, which is the number of players. So if we leave it as 1, it'll remain as a single player game. Otherwise we can add multiple players. And again, as with previous versions, you can choose what type of play you want to have, whether stroke play or stable foot. So let's go and start creating our players. Now we can choose from a list of players we have here. The owner is always the first player to choose from. We can add our new player. You can go to contacts to populate from your contacts. So we'll just take Hank Zakroff as an example, and it populates it all in. It takes his first address or main address, his cell phone number first, followed by his main cell phone number, and his email address. And you can enter in a handicap for the individual. So we'll save that. So now it's part of our list. So we can add Hank to our list of people playing in our game. We can also choose which T set they're going to play off. So Hank can play off a different T set. We'll add another one, John Appleseed. He'll play off the blue, but he might have a handicap of 5.3. Now we'll add our final player, will be Anna, and she can go off scratch. So let's select done and accept our choices. Okay, so now what we have is our 4 players. We can view the scorecard at any time by hitting the information button. Now this particular scorecard's been zoomed in, but you can zoom back to its original size by double tapping. You can also, if you double tap again, it'll zoom in to the width. One of the advantages of what we've got with version 3 is that if you set the scorecard and you come back, it remembers its location. So for example, we can zoom in, so let's do that now. Okay, put it on the top corner here. We go out and we come back in. It's back in the top corner. Now the yards and par are for the owner. So here we have the owner. So what we have is the initial at the top. It's the same here. Remember, Hank was off a white tee, so if we click on white, now it shows white with all its yards and pars. So it's pretty handy from that point of view. Okay, so we can flip to the back of card, and what we have now is a list of all our players, what tees they're playing off, the yardage for each of those players. As you can see, Hank has a bit of advantage over our owner because he's on a different tee set. We have the par for each, and because John Appleseed has a handicap, he's got an adjusted par. So he has an adjusted par of 5, where the actual par is 4, and his current score is 0. And if it was stable foot, it would be the stable foot score. We can also edit the tee details. So if you click on the edit button, it shows you the tee details for the current hole for the owner. So because the owner is a blue tee, it'll be the blue tee's holes that we're editing here. So we can make changes, and when we hit done, it'll actually update the players with blue to match it. So for example, if we click on edit, we change the index, those players which have a handicap will be recalculated because the index has changed. and the same with if a part was changed, we'll get changes there as well. Now we can also edit T's by clicking on the T names. So here I've selected the white T set, and so now as we're editing the white T set distance, which is 348 yards, matches the 348 yards. So that's an additional feature that we have. Before with Caddy a single player, you could edit the current T. Now you can edit the current T for the owner, plus you can edit any T for any owner, any other player, by actually selecting the T name. Let's flip the card back over. Okay, now we would add scores as we do normally. You play along, you do first hit, do your second hit, and then you might be putting off, and a few more. Got a birdie for there. So let's have a look at our scorecard now, and we'll just zoom out a little bit. And what we've got is our scores here. Okay, so what we've got here is our score of 3. For the out score is 3, total 3, and the net value is 3. Now net and total for most of the players are going to be the same, but for our third player, he has a handicap, and so his value gets adjusted by 1. As in previous versions of Caddy, you can swipe up to change a hole, and you can swipe down to drop a hole. We also have the up and down arrows, which have been with us since 2.5. So we go up and down, and it works exactly the same. Now, at any time you can view your players. So we might want to track Hank's score separately, so we can go into the current scorecard here. And so that's our play card. So if we go back to play, we're on second hole now, and we add Hank as 1, go back to our player section, it updates, and we can see what his current score is that way. Okay, we can also post an email, so you can view the email, and you can also view the original scorecard, which happens to be the scorecard from the previous screen. From here, if you click on anywhere outside, or actually you can click anywhere, it'll show up these 2 title bars. You click on that, it shows again an action sheet showing the emails, the scorecard, and cancel. Can't do an email on this tutorial because it requires an iPhone to do so. I'm only running on a simulator. So let's hit cancel and go back out. Okay, so let's leave it and Hank go back to play. This concludes our tutorial for multiplayer support. Thank you.